people like you to make something as strange as the films you tend to choose. That's a big risk by then, and yet you guys don't seem that flustered about it. You seem like, I'm going to do this. You have that confidence in your own vision or your own ideas. Was that always the case, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, it's confidence or stupidity or just ignorance or whatever, but it's just kind of the desire to make what we wanted. And I've been lucky from the very beginning to, from Scissorhands, even though they didn't really want to do it, but after Batman, I got the chance to kind of just do a low budget kind of thing. So I've had the chance to, do the things I've wanted to do.
You're both very successful men working in an industry which is primarily an American industry. So, and yet you both choose to live elsewhere. You live over here, more or less full time, as far as I know. And you live mainly in France, is that right, Johnny?
Yeah, in France, but also just, it's a pretty transient existence.
Why is your main base in France then? Why did you choose France and not England?
What France has done for me really is like, at least living in Europe has given me the opportunity for real simplicity as far as raising a family, being a dad. When we go down to our place in the south, there's no discussion, there's no movie talk, there's no nothing. It's just literally simple and free. I guess in Los Angeles, it's so much a kind of the industry dominates the whole town that even schools and even restaurants, when you go out, it's always there. Everywhere you go. I mean, everywhere you go. And you like a glass of wine occasionally, don't you, Johnny? I don't mind it. Okay. I don't mind it. And you have your own vineyard, is that right? I don't. You don't? The French won't allow it. I thought you had a vineyard. They don't want me to have a vineyard. Okay, and this is because you wouldn't be able to grow it? They just want you to keep drinking their stuff? I'd probably never leave. Yeah. Do you guys hang out together or see each other much when you're not working together? I mean, we've talked about your home life. You're here in the UK now. You're living with Helen, as you said, Helen Bonham Carter, and you have 2 children. Yes. Beautiful children. Do you guys sort of go see each other much? Do you hang out? Do you socialise? Do you bond? Do you go drinking, bowling? Do you go fishing? Do you do any of those things? Shopping?
Forgot ice dancing. And
ice dancing.
Synchronized swimming.
Synchronized swimming.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, when we work, we see each other all the time.
Yeah. Or if we happen to be in the same place or something like that.
Do you holiday together ever?
I don't even holiday with my own family, so I would certainly be in trouble if I holidayed with him.
But it's just a phone call away, Tim. Just phone them up and say, hey, we're thinking of going to Centre Park or somewhere. What are you doing?
Sorry, holiday kids, I'm off to the Bahamas with Johnny.
No, I'm not saying you should go alone with him and his family and leave yours at home. I'm saying both groups of family book, you'd probably get a better rate and go and stay somewhere together. But I imagine it would be kind of like, not like working, but it would be a continuation of work. If you were away together, you would find yourself talking about those kind of things. Well, we'd probably develop like strange things like, like Martin Landau's Hot Tub.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that. TV shows. We've dreamed up TV shows. Yeah. Okay, Martin Landau, of course, worked with you both in the Ed Wood movie. Yeah. What was the idea for the Hot Tub TV show?
Just have a talk show. You might want to do it, but in a hot tub. Wherever the guest comes in the hot tub. Naked in the hot tub. Yeah.
Well, I'm up for it. So when you sit down together, or when you pitch on it to Johnny, do you see pretty much eye to eye? Because it's unusual that a couple who've worked together on so many films are still friendly, are still prepared to work together. I mean, most directors I know, eventually they hit a wall with their leading actors and vice versa. You on the same page pretty much all the time? Yeah, I mean, oddly, like even when it comes down to, script notes and stuff like that, if we'll sit down to talk about the character or talk about a scene and compare script notes, and there have been times when they've been like identical, or the notes on the page. And then the approach to the character, like with the Mad Hatter, for example, I had this weird little watercolor that I'd done of what I thought he should look like, and then I brought it to Tim, and then Tim had his drawings, and it was like, they were very, very close, So, and how is Tim as a director? How communicative is he as a director? Because I'm led to believe that you're not the most verbal director when it comes to giving notes and advice and guidance on set. Yeah, he isn't, but I mean, at the same time, he knows exactly what he wants, and there's an incredible shorthand that somehow developed, or actually happened right away on Edward Scissorhands, where it could literally be, he could turn his head that way, or kind of, do something with his hands, and you go, oh yeah, I get it. You know what he meant. I know what he wants. So almost like the way very close family members communicate, or twins, you kind of know what each other say. It must be kind of frustrating for people who are left out. Do they pretend they know what you want and then get it tragically wrong sometimes?
There was lots recently where people we just heard you guys talking, we didn't know what you guys were talking about for half an hour, It was like...
A grip came up to me and said that. He said, I just listened to you and Tim speak. have this conversation. He says, I have no idea what you were talking about.
That's why it takes two of us to go on a talk show, because maybe one sentence will come out.
Together, we'll get some sense out of it. I read a couple of people who work with you, I guess they're the producer behind the thing, they believe that the characters you play on screen are kind of Tim on screen. You're like his alter ego on screen. And you don't see it that way, is that right?
No, I think when you do something, you try to, make it yourself. But the thing is, you just put a little bit of that in there because the actors are the ones doing it. So that's why it's a collaboration. I mean, he's the one that's doing it. So, he's got a lot of him in there. There's maybe some things that I feel in there. And, that's what the artistic collaboration's all about. So.
But do you think that you're kind of acting out his personality on screen at any of the time?
No, I mean, no, not really. I mean, I think, I'm basically just trying